Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a quick jungle video. In this video I'm playing on my main account. I'm playing Graves in Master Tier Elo on EOS. And I'm basically gonna show you guys that you don't have to be full clearing all the time if you're playing a full clearing jungler. Because sometimes simply setting up for a gank right after we've already done a gank and leaving half of your junglers up is actually better. So let me just beat this up. So I'm basically full clearing from top to bot. Reason being that from the analysis that I did of the game, I was thinking that it would be a bit tough to gank Cannon due to the fact that he has his E. Most likely Cannon will be pushing though because he's range versus melee. Mid lane I can also gank, but I need Ari to hit a charm and Koriki's range, so I kinda need to look at the wave. And I have bot lane with Jhin and Bard. So I can potentially gank every lane, but we start off by just full clearing here. Then we gank bot. One thing we have to check here is that by the time I'm doing my grump here, I'm looking at this wave right here. So this wave right here is actually slow pushing into the enemy. So the gank that I'm doing is actually kind of bad, unless if I force it instantly and enemy bot lane walks up, which they're not actually doing. So this gank technically shouldn't have worked, but even in Master Tier Elo, people are gonna make massive mistakes, especially when it comes to laners. So this gank can still work because I still walk behind them. And bot lane wants to kind of like fight it 3v or 2v3. So we end up killing the Lulu. Vayne goes all in, gets stunned. We end up killing Vayne. So this gank shouldn't have worked, but it ended up working anyway because enemy bot lane was greedy. So it's actually a mistake on my end on ganking on this wave, even though it ended up working. Now this is where I'm making a good decision simply by shoving my bot lane in, getting one plating. I think we got two actually. I think we got two platings to push one more wave in. And now we reset. So here I'm resetting at the same time as my bot lane. And instead of going into topside jungle, because that's where, that's my first jungle camps that are gonna spawn. So my Kruks are up right now. So Kruks are up, Raptors will be up next, then Wolves, then Grump. So instead of going to my topside here, when I realize my top lane is recalling, and this wave is eventually gonna bounce back, but then I'll bounce back, but I have to wait on my top laner if I wanna go for the top lane gank. So going for a top lane gank could work, but it will be a bit slow. Because I need to wait for Cannon to push this wave and maybe he will reset and then yeah, it will be tough to tell. Mid lane, same thing. My mid lane has pushed up. Bot lane on the other hand, same thing. The wave will bounce back. The enemy bot lane will push this wave and slowly push into my bot lane. Now I recall a little bit before my bot lane, but that's all good. Because now I can simply path straight into bot side again. Which you'll see me do here. And if we take a look at the wave is slowly gonna be pushing into my bot lane here. So this means that the enemy bot lane eventually have to walk up. So right now, Viego, if he just full clears, then he will eventually catch up. But the good thing is that if I'm putting myself behind, but I'm getting my bot lane ahead. So Viego can just farm the entire time, do whatever he wants, and he gets ahead of me. But I don't really care too much about that, because I'm basically gonna zone off the enemy bot lane. If enemy bot lane walks up to the wave that comes up here, we kill them. And if they don't walk up, they lose this entire wave, and we can probably just zone them off for multiple waves. I can then go up, clear my wolves, my grump, come back down to bot lane, see how the wave is going then. If it's still slow pushing into us, then I can gank them or zone them off again for another 1 or 2 waves. And if my bot lane is slowly pushing, I can help my bot lane crash the wave and go into a dragon, because then I will have priority over bot lane. So, since we're not playing in Challenger Elo, what most likely will happen is this bot lane is gonna overstay, they're gonna push this wave, and they're gonna greed and push this wave as well, instead of giving it up. So we are simply gonna be patient here. So now we see Lulu walk up. And we just go all in on her. Lulu's dead. Now the enemy jungler comes down. And then we end up clutching this. So Vayne kills here, snipes here, really good play. So same thing here, I'll shove bot lane in with the Jhin. And then I reset. So why is it that I reset here? Because if I reset now, I can then again go back to my bot lane and gank them instantly. But now on the other hand, now I'll have my red buff coming up. So I could go topside and clear my topside to bot side, but that means I'm gonna leave my bot side for a few minutes before I'm back there again. So in this situation, I hope at least what I do is that I go to my top side and I don't care about this top scuttle. I hope I take red raptors, walk bot side, and don't go for the top scuttle and don't go for my crux. I hope that's what I do. Let me see though, because I can't remember. Okay, I end up also taking the top scuttle. But basically, now what you will see is that because Bard is also here, which I don't know why he is here, he shouldn't have been here, he should have been bot. But because both Bard and I are here, what is gonna happen is the enemy bot lane is gonna dive my Jhin, and he actually ends up dying, which is pretty bad. And this is because I decided to go topside to go for my red. If Bard was down here, obviously they couldn't have done this play in this specific situation with the bot lane combo that they have. But imagine if they had like a Thresh and Draven combo bot lane, then they could probably have tower dove them 2v2 on their tower anyway. But I think I actually end up going down bot lane. Yeah, we end up killing them back, but that's still not as good because now Jhin loses the wave, he's dead for quite a while. So even though we killed him, this is still not good. People would say, oh, it's worth you got 2 for 1 or whatever. But yeah, I guess arguably it's worth, but it could have been done even better. Simply by, again, either going red into Raptor straight into bot side to cover, it would have been a lot faster. Or simply went straight back into bot lane once again. I think both options would have been viable in that situation. But I decided to greed for a Scuttle Crab and ended up, yeah, my ADC basically dying. So yeah, that was kind of bad. So now you'll see same thing. I shove the wave in and I play bot side instantly. So I don't care too much about my crux because I can get a ton of ganks off on bot side. If I couldn't gank my bot side, I would just have taken my crux. But the reason why is because every time I push a wave in after I've ganked and I get to reset, I know that I can gank that lane again within the next minute. That's why I'll go back to the same side that I just recalled from, even though I have jungle camps on the other side of the map, simply because that every time I gank, I get between 300 and 450 gold, depending on kills and assists, etc. And with jungle camps, I get about 100 gold per camp. So that means if I would have to make up for a gank, I would need 4 jungle camps worth of gold, which would be my entire top side, entire bot side, outside of red and blue buff, of course, in order to make up for it. And that's for 1 kill. So now you'll see, again, I'm on bot side. We realize we can't really make a play here because of how the wave is. So, you know what? We have Pry on the lane. Let's go ahead and do the dragon. So we go ahead to take the Drake here. And then enemy bot lane overstays. Once again. So what do? We capitalize on it and kill both of them once again. So I'm 1-0 and 7, so I'm basically playing support, secondary support on bot lane. But again, that's completely fine. So now that this bot lane tower gets... No, it actually doesn't get taken. So because this bot lane tower doesn't get taken, what will happen next is I'm going back to bot side once again, hopefully. So you see me going straight back to bot side, and I still have my crux, I still have my raptors up, which is 200 gold, but I can take my wolves in case that this wave doesn't get pushed. But if we take a look at the bot lane wave, it's once again being pushed. So that is why I'm again going back to bot lane. Because I know that enemy bot lane wants to crash this wave, otherwise the wave will be slow pushing into my bot lane and we can zone them off once again. So when I see that they want to shove this wave, I'm not even thinking about taking my wolves. I'm realizing, oh, worst case scenario, I don't get a kill, but at least I zone off the enemy bot lane from one wave, which is the same as me getting the wolf camp for them losing the wave. So basically, wolves would give me like 90 gold, let's say, and for the minion wave, enemy bot lane will get 110. So it doesn't matter if I take 90 gold for myself or if I zone 100 gold away from the enemy. Our team as a whole will still be ahead. So even though I don't gain anything, the enemy bot lane doesn't gain anything either, and my bot lane gains something. But because it's again masters and they will not give up this wave and let it be a slow push, they will contest this wave, try and crash it, and yeah, they will basically die for it because I am bot side once again. I shouldn't actually have taken the Scuttle Crab there, but yeah, basically they end up overstaying once again. And we get another 2 kills right here. Now I can counter jungle his bot side. So that's what I do. And then once again we recall. I think he cancels it, yeah. Should have cancelled, or I should have stopped my recall in a different place. So, we take a look again. If my recall wasn't cancelled right here, there would have been a good opportunity for me to go back to bot lane once again and kill Vayne on this wave again, because she wants to crash this wave once again. But because my recall got cancelled, it would take me quite a while to get down here, and she would potentially have the opportunity to crash the wave before I even get there. So that's why I didn't go there in the first place, but that's because my recall was greedy and I should have recalled it in a different place that was a little bit more defensive and more safe for me to go. So, but my Jhin ends up killing the Vayne solo anyway, because he's a lot stronger than the Vayne at this point. So that means now I can just do whatever I want on top side, and luckily fight is happening here on top side, so I basically end up joining it. I should have flashed out of the Corki, but I do here. And then we get another 2 kills. And then I take the Rift Herald, use it in mid lane. And now we're basically up by 7k gold. So, to capitalize on it, I could have ganked all 3 lanes in this game that I wanted to. So the reason why we didn't gank top lane was because we played ranged versus melee matchup. This means that usually the ranged laner will try and push the wave into the Irelia, simply because then he can harass for free with Q, autos, etc. in lane. Mid lane, it's ranged versus ranged, but I do have setup once again, just like the Irelia. Irelia has a stun, Ahri has a charm, but it's a bit difficult to kill the Corki because he has his W. Same reason with Kennen, he is also ranged and he has his E, so the enemy solo laners are quite a bit safe. Now if you take a look at the enemy bot lane, they're kind of low range, and at least for Lulu, she doesn't have an escape outside of her her movement speed buff and the slow that she has. But on the other hand, I have a Bard Q and I'll have a Jhin W. And that's basically the reason why I'm playing for that lane. So I could have ganked all 3 lanes and I could have applied the same pathing to the other laner. So at least top lane I could. It's a little bit more difficult to do for mid lane, but at least for top lane I could have done that. But again, I had my reasons for playing for bot side this game. Most of the time, playing for bot side is the best, like 90% of the games. And in my opinion, there's just a bigger chance of Jhin carrying this game compared to the Irelia. And on top of that, there's a bigger threat of Vayne Lulu carrying in the late game compared to the Kennen. So that's why I basically played for bot side. So to recap, we didn't gank top lane a single time. We barely took our top side camps. I think we took them like 3 times when we could have taken them 5 or 6 times maybe. And for mid lane, we didn't really gank that lane either. And we just kept on ganking bot lane, crashing the wave, reset, waited for the wave to bounce back, killed them again, pushed in the wave bounced back, we instantly pathed back to bot side again, killed them again. And we kept on repeating that, which, yeah, basically ended up meaning that because Viego didn't get anything on top side, we are 2k gold ahead, my ADC is 1.3k gold ahead, and my support is 1.5k gold ahead. On top of that, I also have a pretty good top and mid laner this game, but even if my mid lane and top lane wasn't doing that good, we could still pretty much win the game through bot side. So, basically, what do you want to take away from this video? You don't always have to power farm, you don't always have to clear every single jungle camp before you gank. And sometimes it is okay to leave some of your camps up. In this situation, my Crocs and Raptors. If I can get something done on the other side of the map, back to back. And that's basically what we did. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.